In this video, I'm going to show you a shirt that sold for over $150 on eBay, and that's not even the best sale I had last month. I'm also going to share with you 13 items that I sold for over $100, so make sure to stick around. But let's start with that shirt first, and that shirt is Hamilton board shirt, sold for $145 plus shipping. And after fees and shipping and all that stuff, I got back $120. I paid $9.99, so I made around $110. I listed it pretty high at $200, and it ended up selling. I took a best offer $145, so I'm happy with that. All right, here next up we got a Brioni blazer jacket. This one sold overseas, so there's no returns on that one. I got back $180, sold for $205 plus shipping. It sold fairly quickly as well. Brioni, obviously it's a very great brand for blazers, jackets, and suits. This one has some pretty cool buttons there. Listed pretty high, $300, and just took that best offer of $205. Here we got a Bonobos blazer. This one was new without tag. Had a very cool pattern, nice color, brown color as well. I had it priced at $189, and took the best offer. Or no, they used a 20% off coupon. So after fees, I made $130. Probably paid under $20 for that one as well. Here I got a Johnny O blazer. The Johnny O blazers do very good, especially like the performance ones. This one had a window pane pattern. It was unstructured. It had the Carlo Barbera fabric. So be on the lookout for Johnny O blazers. Don't really pick up any other items from Johnny O, pretty much just their blazers. This one had a wool and silk blend, had some nylon as well, so it had like the performance stretchy feel. I priced this one high, $200, and accepted a best offer of $150 plus shipping. So again, made over $100. Here we got an Hermenegildo Senya. Priced this one at $200. This one had the Trofeo fabric. It had like a check pattern. Or like I said, I priced it at $200, and I took a best offer, or they used 20% off coupon, and I got back $138. And yeah, made over $100 on that one as well. Here's the Loro Piana summertime blazer. I sold quite a few of the summertime model for Loro Piana. This was a nice blue one. It was a linen, had a good check, gingham check pattern. Even had a little scuff there, but still sold. Priced it at $200 as well. Took a best offer of $145. Here we got another Brioni blazer. I had this one for quite some time. I took a best offer on this one. The model is called Palatino. You'll find the model inside of the, like where the material tag is. But this one was like a silk blend, but it had a few scuffs. That's why it took a little bit to sell. I took a best offer $125. Here's a pretty good sale. This is a Mizzen Main Bellman jacket. Priced it at $150. I don't pick up too much Mizzen Main shirts anymore, but this jacket caught my attention. You don't really see that much Mizzen Main jackets like this one, like a puffer jacket. But this one was called the Belmont, and I ended up selling this one. They used 20% off, so after fees and shipping, I got back $103. Here we got another linen blazer. This one's a Hugo Boss. This one's a very, very nice one. Very nice blue color, nice pattern. 100% linen. It was unstructured, very modern. Priced it at $150. After fees and shipping, I got back $98. Here's a lot of Pinot Noir polos. Sometimes I like to lot polos up, so a lot of these 5. These are 2XL, sold for $100 plus shipping. Here's a Loro Piana 2-piece suit. I love picking up Loro Piana suits, even if they have a lesser brand. Like this one was Daniel Cremieux, which is not really a good brand. Try to show you a tag, Daniel Cremieux. But if it has the Loro Piana fabric, I lead with Loro Piana in the title. That way it could sell a little bit faster. More people are searching for Loro Piana than Daniel Cremieux. And it ended up selling for $100 plus shipping. I got back $91. Probably paid less than $20 for that one. Here's a very good brand. This one's called Tom Brown. I found 2 of these shirts at one thrift store. I believe I paid like around $7, $8. Here's a tag, Tom Brown. And priced this one at $130. Ended up selling for $103. So after fees and shipping, got back $93. Here's another Hugo Boss blazer. This one also went to Europe, I believe, but this one I priced it at I priced it at $79.99. This one was just like another performance-y one. Hugo Boss blazers do really good for me. I love picking up Hugo Boss blazers. They also had like the Lanificio Tessivella fabric, so I'm pretty sure that helped it sell as well. Here's a J. Crew blazer. This one sold for $80 overseas as well. The cool thing about this one is it had the Baird McNutt fabric, which they make like Irish linen. So I'm pretty sure that helped it sell as well. I priced it at $99 and I took a best offer of $80 plus shipping. So I got back $71 after fees and shipping. Here I sold a Brioni linen shirt. This one was a 2XL. I priced this one pretty high, probably a little bit too high. And it did take a while to sell. I priced it at like $150. But if you can find a Brioni linen shirts, linen pants, linen blazer suits, all those are going to do very good. And this one, I took a best offer of $90 plus shipping. So I got back $80 right there. Here's another Hermenegildo Senya blazer. This one had a silk blend. Nice like burgundy color. Had the J. Hilburn as well there. $100. And they use 20% off. So I ended up getting $72 back. Here's the other Tom Brown shirt. This one had a little bit of more scuffs. So that's why I priced it a little bit less, but it still sold. They took a 20% off, so I got back $72 on that one. Here's a really cool one. This is a Roosevelt's Shady Acres Ace Ventura shirt. In one of my thrift haul videos I made, I showed, I think like I found 6 of these Roosevelt shirts, and I sold a couple already, but this was the one that sold for the most so far. Had this price at $100, and I took a best offer, or they used 20% off coupon. So after fees, I made $71 back. Here's a really awesome sale. This is a Howler Brothers fleece pants. The price is high because I didn't see any comps, but I checked their website and they were all sold out. So I figured somebody was going to try to look for these pants, and they would be willing to pay up if they're all sold out everywhere. So maybe they were discontinued or something, but I priced it at $100. I took a best offer of $79 plus shipping. So I got back $70. Here we got another Johnny O performance blazer. This one sold for, well, I priced it at $79. It sold for $75 plus shipping. It's a good sale there. Be on the lookout for this brand when it comes to blazers. This one's a Oak Hill linen blazer. Had a nice like chambray gray. I like to use the word oversize. They make clothing geared towards bigger guys. So that's why they have a lot of bigger sizes. Like this one was a 3XLT. And let me show you the tag right here. This is Oak Hill. And this one ended up selling for $75 plus shipping. Here I got a Todd Snyder cashmere polo. Priced this one at $100. Paid less than $7, I think. Ended up selling for $75. Here's a cool one. Here's an Ibex. This one was a new with tag. It was like a utility shacket jacket. Took a while to sell, but I ended up just accepting an offer of $75. Maybe I priced it too much. I'm not sure, but still sold it. So I got back $63. Here's a Joseph Abboud linen blazer. I only mostly pick up their linen blazers. And it has to have a nice pattern. This one was pretty cool too. It had the Guabello fabric. So that one is sold for 20% off of $80. So I got back $56. McKay blazer. Last year I picked up like 4 of these in one thrift store, and this one had like a stain or something. That's why, like here in the back, that's why it's been taking a while, but ended up selling for $62 plus shipping. Here's a Peter Millar merino wool. This one was new with tag. Sold it for $65. Here's a paisley and gray blazer. This one was double-breasted, so it's very popular right now. And this one listed at $80, and they used a 20% off coupon, so I got back $56 after fees and shipping. Here's a pretty cool brand called Murray's Toggery Shop. There's a tag right there. Every time that I picked up these pants, they've always sold. I always list them at $39.99, and they always sell at that price. So for this one, I got back $37 after fees and shipping. Here I sold this Canali linen shirt. Again, the same as Brioni. If you can find linen clothing in Canali, it's going to do very good. Their blazers do pretty good too. But this one I priced $100, took a best offer of $60, got back $54. Here's a G-Star Raw blazer. This one had a wool and silk blend, sold for $72. I believe G-Star Raw is known for making denim, their jeans, but when I found this, I just took a chance and ended up paying off. Here's a Burberry blazer, sold for $60. Had a nice pattern, window pane pattern, a check pattern. Priced at $80, sold for $60. So I got back $53. Here's another Hugo Boss performance blazer. Not much to say about these. Just got to be careful. You don't want to pick up every single Hugo Boss. Like the older vintage ones don't usually do that good. I usually just stick more to the modern, lightweight performance Hugo Boss blazers. This one sold for $54. Here's a Ralph Lauren blazer. I mentioned this in another video that I don't pick up every single Ralph Lauren, the green label ones. But this one had like a pretty cool pattern. And it was more of a modern, lightweight. Priced those at $70. They took 20% off, so ended up getting $49 back. Talked about this brand. I love this brand. This is Poncho. They have like the magnetic pockets here. This one I priced it at $70 and ended up selling for 20% of $70, so I got back $50. Here's a Talia linen blazer. I love picking up Talia. Sometimes they make some really crazy patterns, so the crazier the pattern, the better. This one I priced at $70. Took a best offer of $54. Here's a Rag & Bone Fit 2 slim jeans. I still pick those up. Those do pretty good for me. Here's another Ralph Lauren green label one. This one's part linen, so sold for $52. Here's a Ralph Lauren black label blazer. I could have priced it a little bit more, but it was missing like some buttons, so I ended up just pricing at $70, and it sold probably in a couple of days. Here's a Tommy Bahama new attack shirt. This one was called the Veracruz K. Be on the lookout for Tommy Bahama new attack. I usually just stay away from the used Tommy Bahama shirts. Here's a Grayson Montauk jogger pants. These do really good. Be on the lookout for Grayson pants there. Sold for $70. Here's another Talia blazer. Sold for $50. Again, it had a nice pattern. Be on the lookout for this brand. This is a really good brand. This is the Ryan Michaels. I live in Texas, so I'm finding a lot of these Western brands. So you may not find some of these brands, but just in case, Ryan Michaels is a very good brand. Sold for $54. Here's a new attack Stafford suit jacket. Here's a Tommy Hilfiger blazer. Sold for $59.99. I love picking up Tommy Hilfiger blazers. Not a lot of people would even touch Tommy Hilfiger, but it's pretty decent. It has a good pattern, has some good material, more performance, more modern. It's gonna do pretty good still. Here's another Oak Hill blazer, sold for $46. Here's a Stafford linen. I love picking up Stafford linen blazers. You can sell them probably between $40 and $60. This one sold for $46. Here's a Robert Graham shirt, sold for $47. Again, the crazier the pattern for Robert Graham, the better. This one had the flip cuff, it had the paisley, it had the floral. Sold for $47 plus shipping. Here's an Allen Flusser. Same with the other ones like Talia and Allen and Stafford. They all have to have something unique about it. And this one had a pretty cool pattern, like a floral paisley pattern. Sold for $45. Here's a Peter Millar reversible vest. Not much to say about that. Every time you find a Peter Millar piece, At least look into it. Inside the material tag, you're gonna find the model. It usually starts with the M, I believe. This one sold for 45. Here's a Holderness and Born. This one's called the Perry Vest. Sold for 45. This one's a Billy Reed Salvage. Sold for 45. Here's a vintage Levi's denim trucker jacket from 1998. Be on the lookout, obviously, for vintage Levi's jeans, jackets, shirts. This one sold for 60 bucks. Again, I'm from Texas, so I'm finding a lot of these Western brands like this one, Circle S. Find these every single week. Not all of them do good, but this one was like a denim one, so sold for 46. Here's a Viore Pronto Performance Jogger, sold for 59. Here's a Peter Millar Summer Comfort, 55. Here's a Harley Davidson for 40 bucks. Another Tommy Hilfiger, 40. Here's a Nike Tech Fleece for 50 bucks. Diesel Safalo for 39. Travis Matthew, these were called the Legacy Featherweight Jeans. These do really good, sold for 50 bucks right there. J. Crew Ludlow jackets, blazers, sold for 40. Here's a New Attack Territory head jacket, sold for 40. Peter Millar Perth, I talked about that in other videos. So I love picking up those up, especially the bigger sizes. This one sold for 50 bucks. Here's a Built hooded drop cut long sleeve New Attack. This was $38. Peter Millar EB66 pants. Usually get between 35 and 50 bucks. Here's another Holderness and Born. This one sold for $48. It's a New Attack as well. Here's another one of the Roosevelts that I talked about. This one was just like a NASA one. That one sold for 50 bucks plus shipping. Here's a New Attack Oak Hill vest. Sold for $38. Here's another poncho shirt. I think I had a few scuffs, so sold a little bit less for 39 bucks. Here's another Stafford linen blazer, sold for 50. Here's a Peter Millar Perth 3XL, sold for 35. Sims hoodie. This one had like the camo sleeves, sold for $39. Here's a tie, Robert Talbot, sold for 45. Here's a Frank and Eileen. I love picking up Frank and Eileen shirts, even though they're mostly for women. I usually find them in the men's section, and yeah, they sell great. This one sold for 38. Here's a Hickey Freeman, sold for 35. Here's a Rock Revival denim, sold for 35. Here's a Flint Tinder, the Architect shirt, sold for 39 bucks. The Cool Free Rider pants, sold for 35. Here's the Faraday Stretch Terry 5 Pocket, 32. Cricket button-up shirt, sold for 35. New Attack Realm Performance shirts, 35. Primo Golf, 35. Jane Barnes, Jane Barnes used to do really good a couple of years ago. But this one has a really crazy pattern. I still pick up Jane Barnes if it has a really crazy pattern, or if it has silk and linen. Those do good. Still sold for 34. Here's another Faraday Stretch, sold for 39. Here's a small Smart Wool jacket, women's, 35. Masio, it's a pretty good brand. This was like a crazy pattern as well, sold for 33. Here's another Murray's Toggery Shop. This one's like a green one. That one sold for 40 bucks. Here's an Area FR, sold for 31. Arc'teryx shirt, sold for 35, or a polo. Here's a Brooks Brothers gold button. This one was a woman's. Sometimes I do pick up women's blazers. It just depends. Sold for 30. Here's another Robert Talbot tie. Sold for 38. Another Peter Millar Perth 2XL. Sold for 30. Peter Millar Lava Wash hoodie. Sold for 33. Primo Golf jogger. Sold for 30.